David DeGuzman alongside Sports Director Joe Nugent with a special Muirfield edition of the NBC4 Sports Digital Roundtable as we wrap up the Memorial 2024 edition. Scottie Scheffler, your victor. He came in with a 4-shot lead, but it wasn't exactly smooth sailing as he entered the final round.
No, I mean, he shot a 74. He was 2 over par today. Really did not see that coming. Thought more than likely he was going to run away with this thing, but it was an absolute battle on the course today. I mean, not only were the greens faster because it hasn't rained in several days here, but also the wind was blowing again through Muirfield Village. It was tough. I mean, you could just feel it. He needed a birdie at some point, especially on the back nine, and it just never came. He had opportunities, especially at 13. Couldn't get anything to fall, but saved par in a way here at 18.
I mean, Colin Morikawa and Adam Hadwin needed to have the round of their lives to really catch up to Scottie Scheffler. But it was interesting as the leaderboard tightened up, and then we saw Morikawa and Scheffler heading into 15, a hole that has been very nice to golfers during this tournament.
There's not too many of them either.
Yeah, no, that's right, exactly. And, I was there as, the last grouping went in, and I saw the look on Scheffler's face as he missed that opportunity for birdie, had to settle for par, and it's just like, and there are a lot of moments like that for Scheffler, but in the end of the day, he got it done, and was able to take advantage of really the other golfers just not doing enough to even put up a chance.
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult for everybody. There were only 6 golfers under par today. So par was a great score. It played like a major. So, he survived. But to your point, I mean, we all saw several holes where it's like, okay, he has a birdie putt here. This is a 10-footer. This is a 15-footer. This is
He's done this before.
At 13, I mean, I think it was a 2-footer.
Yeah.
And it was like this is not the Scottie Scheffler we're used to seeing. I mean, this guy is, in a way, a killer on the golf course, Who
would have thunk that the par putt on 16, a long par putt, but the par putt on 16 would have been what Jared Smalley says, the shot of the tournament. In the process, Scottie Scheffler making a lot of history. I mean, we can name a lot of facts that right off the bat. I mean, that fact with Tiger Woods that you're about to mention, but I'll also mention this. Tom Watson, the last guy to win 5 PGA Tour tournaments in the same calendar year before the U.S. Open. Tom Watson did that in 1980, and now Scottie Scheffler adds to the mix as well, but also joining some pretty special company with Tiger Woods.
Yeah, so he's on fire. He's won 5 of his last 8 tournaments, but he's also now only the 2nd golfer in PGA history to win the Arnold Palmer Invitational, to win the Players, to win the Masters, and to win the Memorial. Tiger Woods.
Those are tough tournaments.
Yeah, Tiger Woods was the other in 01. So it is a special year for Scheffler, and it's interesting that he's still finding a way to win in a situation like this where he really wasn't that great today, but he was good enough.
Great momentum going into the U.S. Open. And one last thing on Scottie before we wrap it all up. I mean, just really special for him because the last win was at the Masters, but his wife was pregnant, getting ready to deliver their first baby. And so now he gets to celebrate with his family. He had his wife and his newborn son by his side. Doesn't get any better than that. Your last takeaway as we get set to depart Muirfield and look forward to 2025. And by the way, Barbara Nicklaus announced today is the Memorial honoree for next year.
I think it was a great tournament. It was tough. I enjoyed the fact that the course played like a major. I know Jack, he wasn't trying to set it up like the U.S. Open is set up. He wasn't necessarily trying to punish the golfers mentally, right? I mean, as a former player, he understands that. He wants it to play tough, and he talked about that. He believes when a course is challenging, the best rise to the top, and that's what happened here today. But I thought it was really interesting that this ended up playing like the U.S. Open as we head next week to the U.S. Open.
Right. Your first one for NBC4. You've been here as a fan, but your first one on this side of the camera. My first one ever just being here, and if there's anything I've learned, this course is tough, and you should expect that because the architect is Jack Nicklaus, the greatest of all time, and yeah, I mean, it's something that I'm going to remember the most is how tough this course is. You just saw, even Scottie Scheffler struggling here on the course. But when you struggle and still end up with the tournament title, I mean, that says a lot about how good he is going into the U.S. Open.
You're trying to be the best out of 73, and he was.
Conquering the course that Jack Nicklaus built. Well, that wraps it up for Sports Director Joe Nugent. I'm David DeGuzman, wrapping it up here at Jack's Place.